The alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning. For most folks, that's just a bunch of numbers on a phone screen. For me, it's a sound that reminds me my body doesn't belong to me anymore. I sit on the edge of the bed, looking at my hands. Veins, age spots, joints that are already aching before I even stand up. I'm 65 years old. By all the laws of this country, by all those glossy brochures they shoved into my hands at corporate retreats 30 years ago, I should be sitting on the porch right now, drinking coffee and watching the sun come up. I was promised the golden years. I was promised that after 40 years of backbreaking labor, I could finally catch my breath. But you know what the scariest part is? It isn't the pain in my knees. The scariest part is checking the mailbox and seeing that thin envelope from the Social Security Administration. You know exactly how much is going to be in there. You know it'll barely cover the electric bill and the cheapest blood pressure meds. And so you get up, put on your uniform, drive to a job where your boss is younger than your grandson, and you pretend everything is going exactly according to plan. I'm not alone in this. I know you're listening to this right now. I see you at the store at 8 in the morning before your shift even starts. I see you behind the wheel of delivery trucks at the checkout registers, in call centers taking the screaming abuse of angry customers, just because you need to pay for your insurance. We've been brainwashed. We were sold the lie that retirement is about age. But in America in 2026, retirement isn't about age. Retirement is about the size of your bank account. And if there aren't enough zeros in there, you aren't retired. You're just cheap labor that corporations are more than happy to exploit. Because us old folks don't know how to complain. We're used to just taking it. Why do we do it? Why don't we just stay home? Because home has become the most expensive prison of all. When you're sitting at home alone, you start counting every single penny. You turn on the TV and they show you ads for medications that cost as much as a used car. You open the fridge and it's practically empty. The loneliness of those four walls presses down on your chest harder than any physical labor ever could. But at work, you're needed. There's a routine. There are people. My coworker, Jim, he's 78, works in a warehouse. He says if he stays home, he'll just forget how to talk. We cling to these jobs not because we're workaholics. We cling to them to keep our sanity, to feel like we're still a part of this world, instead of just waiting in line to become a statistic. But let's be honest, it's humiliating when you're standing at the register and some young customer rolls her eyes because you're scanning her items too slowly. You just grit your teeth. You want to scream at her, I built the roads you drive on. I paid the taxes that paid for your education. But you stay quiet. You just scan the barcode and say, "Have a good day, Mom," because you need that $15 an hour, because your pride isn't going to pay the heating bill this winter. And the most ironic part of all this is that we hide it from our kids. My kids think I'm actively enjoying my well-earned retirement. They see my pictures out in the garden. They don't know that the garden is my side hustle, because I work as a landscaper for the neighbors on the weekends, just to have some cash for incidentals. They don't know I sometimes skip lunch to save a couple of bucks. We wear this mask of well-being because we don't want to be a burden to them. They've got their own mortgages, their own kids, their own problems. We don't want to give them any more gray hairs. But I recorded this video to tell you one thing. What we're doing isn't weakness. It's the most genuine, unfiltered strength there is. If you're at work right now, if you're exhausted, if your feet are throbbing and your back is aching, know that you're a hero. Not a comic book hero, but a real, true blue American hero, carrying the weight of this world on your shoulders even when you feel like you have nothing left to give. Drop a comment below and tell me, where do you work? How old are you? Why are you still at it? Let's just talk about it, without shame, without masks. Here in this comment section, we can take off our uniforms and just be ourselves. I read every single word. This has been Stan. Take care of yourselves and don't ever forget, your hard work matters, even if the world pretends it doesn't. Catch you next time.